Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again on this Thursday morning. Colin, thanks for waking up this early to do the
I've been
podcast.
I've been waking up early. I've been waking up at like 7.
Is that just because you can't sleep again?
No, I go to sleep. I don't know what it is, but I've been able to sleep like the last 2 weeks, which is
That's
it's a
good.
different. It like you probably know this, but when you can lay in bed and just kind of close your eyes when you're not really that tired and you just fall asleep.
Yeah, that's something that I've never struggled with. That I feel like a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I just can't go to sleep," and I'm just
Bless
like,
your soul.
"I hit
You
the
know,
bed. I'm out.
you
I
hit the
don't.
bed.
I
I'm
don't have to
out.
worry about that. Whenever I want to go to sleep, I can go to sleep. Middle of the day, at night, all this stuff." So
That's true. I remember whenever we did the North Texas Conference USA preview stuff, and we did it for like 21 hours straight, and you're
yeah,
just like, I'll just fall asleep in the chair, like this chair. And you
yeah.
just like leaned it back, and you were out like a light. I was like, gosh,
Yes,
funny.
so no problems on that end. But I'm glad you're sleeping well, and we need you to be well rested for this game because North Texas needs you at your best, Colin. Uh, the
Okay.
Mean Green are headed to Memphis to face the Memphis Tigers, and the
Not to
good
be confused with the
old
LSU Tigers.
not to be confused. There's too many Tigers in college football, in my opinion, but it is what it is. They'll be facing Denton Ryan's golden child, Seth
Hmm.
Hennigan, at quarterback. And Colin, I mean, this isn't going to be a very long episode, I don't think, because I think we said all we needed to in the last podcast. But when
Yep.
it comes to this Memphis game in particular, the main thing that I'm going to be looking for, and we'll just jump right into it, is Seth Hennigan at this point in the season, through three games, has 313 yards per game
Yep.
passing, is completing over
Oh.
67% of his passes, has 6 touchdowns and no picks. And one of those games was against Mississippi State, which I watched a good amount of. They're seventh in the country in passing EPA, which is, kind of just estimated points added per pass. So kind of an advanced stat there. North Texas is like 90th in pass defense EPA, which is better than their run defense, which is like 120th. So, got to look at some positives there.
Hmm.
But does North Texas have any hope of stopping this passing attack?
I mean, no, but I we're going to this game expecting them to lose. I think everybody is, but we have seen some crazy stuff before. So I don't want to make this whole rest of the season doom and gloom because that's just
Yeah.
not fun. But I think listen, man, Phil Bennett's got to figure something out because clearly they've lost a lot of talent and they're not able to, and mostly from the run game, right? Like you lose the Murphy brothers, you can't get any stops. I think that is going to make it really hard for them to stop Memphis's passing attack just because you have to force so many guys forward. You can't just drop 8 all the time because then they're just going to run it on you. Um, but we'll see if he's able to, mix it up because obviously they're going to go back to the drawing board after that 58 point they gave up to UNLV. So
Well, the thing is last year, and the main difference to me in the pass coverage and the pass defense is they don't rush the passer as well as they did last year. That
right,
was the biggest thing coming into the year was what is this defense going to be when you don't have the Murphy twins and you don't have Deion O'Ville and you have to manufacture more pressure because we know Phil Bennett loves pressure. Like he lives off of that, lives off making the quarterback throw an errant pass or sacking the quarterback. And with Doug Brumfield, UNLV's quarterback, who finished the game 21 of 27 for 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and only had 1 sack. I think that's
yeah,
kind of an omen of what to look forward to when looking at North Texas defenses. If they don't get to the quarterback, the, they're going to have no success. And so that's why Phil Bennett continues to try to figure out ways to bring pressure, to bring blitzes, because I just don't think their front four is quite good enough to do it on their own. So that's probably the main thing for me is if they don't get pressure on Seth Hennigan without blitzing, and then they have to blitz, are they going to be able to hold up in the back end? And this year they haven't. They haven't been able to
yeah,
hold up. So
yeah,
besides
and
the UTEP game,
which we all know is starting to look not that great of
which
a
was
win.
a completely different situation because once they got a lead, they just dropped 8 into coverage and just said, "All
Right.
right,
Yeah.
beat us." throw in between these zones, and it wasn't even the same game.
Yeah, they only have six sacks this season through
Four,
four games,
four
and
games.
that's with Texas Southern in there. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think what you're looking for if you're a Mean Green fan is just can they be competitive? But then again, I'm not sure what would be more frustrating, seeing them get destroyed by UNLV and then be competitive against the Memphis team. Um,
Yeah.
but I think the main thing you want to see here is we know the offense can score points. It's defense that they need to do. I mean, we already heard the Seth press conference where he said that they're going to continue running on fourth and 1 and 3rd and 1. So that won't change. But I think the main thing is that you want to see some improvement on the defensive end. Otherwise, it's going to be a longer year than it already is.
My question is the spread here, Colin, and we're not predicting or anything yet, but this is kind of to a larger point. The spread is 12.5 or 12 for Memphis at this point.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked about the SMU game, how it was like 10, it was 11, and it was 9, and we're just like, okay. And I came on here yelling something like you're only a 10-point underdog. That's what I said for the SMU game. I was like, in theory, they should have a chance to win that game. That was my
Right.
whole point with SMU is that you're only a 10-point dog. I've seen crazier things happen. I mentioned that week 0, Nebraska and Northwestern game. You can go and find any game in the country
Yeah.
where there's, every week there's multiple 10-point dogs winning, 12-point dogs winning,
It's true.
So I just, it feels like this is different. It feels like North Texas has zero chance of winning this game, even though they're only a 12-point underdog. For instance, Auburn played San Jose State last week. And, I have to keep up with all the SEC stuff. And Auburn was a 23-point favorite, and San Jose State led early in the game and ends up only losing, I think, by 7.
Yeah.
So it's like, could North Texas do that?
I mean, it's that thing where I feel like this happens every year, at least for North Texas. I mean, especially last year too. It's in recent memory is where they go into a game when we think they have no chance. I mean, last year when they were 1 and whatever, and they go to UTSA and they beat UTSA. I mean, is this one of those scenarios where we think that they can somehow do that? Now, the only way I think that could happen is if Memphis just doesn't respect them in the sense that they come out and North Texas is able to just get some quick touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I don't. The defense just looks so not convincing that I don't think there's any way that they can stay competitive in a game like this.
No, Memphis's offense. I think Memphis's defense is significantly worse than years past. Like, for anybody who's looking at Memphis, they are, to me, and just having watched the Mississippi State game, but then they had Army and Arkansas State, and
Navy and
Arkansas
Arkansas
State is
State.
Arkansas Navy. I'm sorry. Arkansas State is not a good team. Like, they are probably North Texas. They're probably going into the season, going into last week even. I would have said Arkansas State is significantly worse than North Texas. Like, Arkansas State's a bottom 10 team in the country to me. And so I thought Memphis would roll. They didn't. They struggled with Arkansas State throughout the entire game pretty much. So there's a blueprint here. There's a blueprint that's hanging in with Memphis. I think even Navy hung in with Memphis for the first half or so of that game. Memphis then got blown out by Mississippi State. I just don't think this is a Memphis team that is competing in the American. I don't think this is that level of team.
Right.
Whereas the past couple years, I think they have been. I think it's been tough, even when UTSA beat them. I think that was, a tough game. So there is an outline here where Arkansas State hangs with Memphis.
An outline.
Again, there's no reason North Texas shouldn't be able to hang with Memphis. You're only a 12-point dog. Arkansas State just hung with them. Like, there's a lot of things here, and I don't think this Memphis team is a juggernaut by any stretch. They're not even Memphis isn't even as good as SMU at all to me.
Yeah.
Like,
like last year, Arkansas State only lost by 5 to Memphis.
Yeah.
But they did beat Mississippi. Memphis did beat Mississippi State. Yeah, I mean, like you said, this team is not as. I mean, they beat SMU last year too. So I don't think that I agree in you saying that they're not as good as they were last year. But it's just we saw UNLV. Is UNLV better than Memphis? No. So, and I don't think the thing about the UNLV loss is it didn't look fluky. It didn't look like a fluke loss. It just looked like they got outplayed. So I think that Memphis is going to come out and do their thing. I think North Texas will score, but again, it falls back to the defense. Can they stop that passing attack? And I don't think they can. I mean, when you average 313 yards passing, that's crazy. And Seth Hennigan doesn't even have a pick. So
Yeah. So, because you brought up a good point that I kind of overlooked early, but it's like this does have the feel to me of a game where North Texas comes out and keeps it close for a bit.
yeah,
If not for the whole game, at least for a half. The Missouri game last year was close. They lost by 13. You mentioned the UTSA performance. Liberty was close early on, last year. There are a lot of times where we expect this team to just stink it up, and sometimes they do really well, but also
yeah.
sometimes they look the part. They look awful. I mean,
What?
we can't. Last year against UAB, 6-40. Last year against Marshall was an embarrassment. So, as much as I want to say, and like I feel that too. I feel that in my gut after an embarrassing loss, you kind of just come back and somehow put out a good performance.
Right.
As much as I kind of am feeling that, I can't trust that feeling.
What do you think it is with these North
Sorry.
Texas teams where they have that feeling? Is it just like you think that they're going to come out and do well? Because it's weird because it has happened in the past where they
There's
all of a
just
sudden
been
play up to the
stretches.
competition.
It's been weird. There's been stretches where you don't. Oh man,
Sorry.
look at Maya. Yeah, mute that, and then we'll go. But there's been stretches while Colin goes and gets Maya. There've been stretches where you don't expect this team to be competitive at all. Where against Missouri they're able to score and keep it somewhat close. Against Louisiana Tech, after going down 24 to 24-0, 24-3, they come back and make it 17-24 last year. Liberty, they play decently well and have a shot. So yeah, there's been, and I think if you go back even further than that, you can find games similar in that vein. But at the same time, as much as I want to give them credit, there was the Houston game in 2019, right? There have been the SMU games where things go exactly how we expect them to go,
That's true.
and so I can't go into this game with any hope.
I guess another.
I was just offering the side of they're only a 12-point dog. Arkansas
Yeah.
State hung with them, and Memphis isn't as good as they usually are. I think those are 3 points that are valid in which North Texas fans can look at if you want to have optimism, which I'm not sure a lot of fans do right now. But if you want to have optimism, you look at those 3 and you're like, why not? Why not?
Well, I guess another point about them coming back. It's normally against other Conference USA teams. Like it's never like they kept it close against Liberty and Missouri for a little bit, but the bounce back wins normally come from other Conference USA teams. So that could also be a thing. But I guess, do you want to get into over unders?
Let's do it. We're
I'll start with
currently
mine.
tied at 10-10. 10
Yeah.
to 10.
Dang,
10 10.
I had like a 3-point lead or something too. That's crazy.
I think it was only like a 2-point lead. Let's calm down. Calm down. All right. Go ahead. What do you got?
Speaking of the spread, it's 12.5.
Yep.
Do they win or lose by my spread? 17.5.
My spread. The Colin spread.
The Collins spread.
Um,
Over under 17.5.
I don't think that's how you would word that, Colin. I don't think you worded that right.
Yeah, are you picking over under 17.5?
How much Memphis wins by? Under.
Listen, I've been the villain all year. I got to go over.
Okay. Colin says Memphis by 17.5.
Yep.
I will say
that's going to be crazy if they actually win by 17.5.
Seth Hennigan over under 330 passing yards. That's a lot of passing yards.
That is a lot of passing yards.
If they give up 330 passing yards, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to say over.
I'm going to say under because this dude comes out of the game if he's throwing that well.
They're blowing him out. The fourth quarter is done.
If he's putting up 330 passing yards, that means that he just destroying the defense, and the offense, let's be honest, probably isn't feeling that great after last week. So I'm going to go under.
Okay. Go ahead.
He had 360 last week. So that's kind of crazy, but that's wild. Over under. This is a tough one. Over under 3 receptions for Roderick Burns.
Ooh, 3.5.
We'll do 3.5. Sorry.
Ani has been playing better.
Yeah.
Ani's playing the best football of his life right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, listen, according to the broadcast last week, he was looking to go to the NFL, which I didn't know. So
shout out that UNLV broadcast. That Mountain West broadcast was something else.
I don't think I've ever seen anything as insane as that broadcast. Anyways,
Rod Burns had 5 catches last week. I think he's still the go-to. I'm gonna say over.
Okay.
You can say over as well.
I know. I'm trying. I gotta get points though. I'm gonna go under.
We've gone against each other the first 2. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I just gotta flip the script every time.
Okay, sure.
All right, your turn.
Iowa Day over under 9.5 carries. He had 10 last week.
Over.
Any reasoning? You think?
I just think that if they're down whatever or not, they're gonna run the ball like they did last week. So I'm gonna go over. And he seems to have also shown that he's gonna be the number 2 back.
Yes.
So if Oscar gets banged up for a bit or something like that, then it's his show.
Yeah, definitely the number 2 back. Oscar had 14 carries, I think, last week, and Ayo had 10, like I said. So the disparity is not huge. The question is if North Texas can hang in the game, they'll run the ball to death.
They're gonna run the ball regardless. We saw them run it constantly whenever they were down against UNLV.
You're right. I'm gonna go over 2. Both over. There we go. Sad. All right, score predictions, Colin.
This is tough.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
I think the points per game by both these teams is gonna go higher.
Okay, so you like the over in this game?
I like that. Yeah. What's the over under 70? 70?
No, it's lower. It's lower than that. I thought it was 68.
It says 70 right here on ESPN.
Oh boy! Wow. Jesus. I'm gonna go Memphis. Yeah, man, I really don't trust this defense, but yeah, no, I don't trust them at all. Memphis 38, North Texas 24.
38-24. I'm going to go. I have to keep this 17.5 spread now. Gosh dang it.
Yeah. You set yourself up for this. It's got to be a blowout now.
It's got to be crazy now.
Crazy.
Dang, this looks bad now. That's crazy.
20-point win. A 20-point loss is not that crazy, I don't think.
No. But the score that I have to keep in my head. Let me think. Let's do 40. So 45, is that the number? 44. 44. Let's do 44.
44. Colin tried to do math on the podcast.
Yeah, 34-24.
34-24.
Yep.
I feel like I kind of just got like the Price is Righted, where he just kind of like went did like 1 penny over what I did.
No, if we'll just do whoever's closer. It's not like Price is Right where if you go over that you're done for.
I know, but I picked 38-24. You picked 44-24.
Oh, here, let me mix that up.
No, it's too late. It's too late. We're sticking with it.
I can change it.
Nope. I don't want you to change it.
Okay.
I don't want you to change it. That's it. We both think North Texas scores 24 points. We know that much. All right. I think that's all we had. Good. 20-minute podcast. Damn, we're running long.
We're running long, he says.
We're running long. We're running long on this one. We try to save the long pods for the post games.
Is this in Memphis?
Yeah, what?
Is this in Memphis?
Yes, it's in Memphis, Colin.
Okay.
Come on now. Future American Conference brothers.
I think
siblings?
Seth Hennigan's going to be the thumbnail this week. This guy.
Seth Hennigan versus Seth Luttrell.
Versus the Seth Bowl.
put them against each other. There
That's
you go.
funny. I'm gonna do that.
There you go. You're welcome. All right. As Colin works on the thumbnail, I will thank you all for y'all's continued support on the podcast and YouTube side. It's continuing to do great. So thank you all for that. Send it to a friend. Let us know what you think. Send your um, score predictions in the comments below. Let us know what you think. If North Texas will win, if North Texas will lose. If you have that same gut feeling that I do, that North Texas will low key keep it close, let me know. I think I've been overly positive this year, Colin. I don't know what it is. Well, at least before games.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
after games, I go to the other end of
Yeah,
the
you go on
spectrum.
rants and then you have a little like Capri Sun afterwards. Capri Sun's like
Yeah.
your post game drink.
I'm out of Capri Suns, Colin. I drank all of them.
I got 2 in there, but they're not mine. They're Norma's.
Normal drink Capri Sun?
Yeah, I don't even know what flavor they are. I
Mm.
drink these adult drinks.
Adult drinks. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. At least you don't drink those like bangs anymore.
I never drank bangs. I'm
That's been a
not.
while.
I'm not. I'm not trying to ruin my entire life.
You saying people who drink bangs like are ruining their
I'm
life?
saying they
Is that what
take
you're
at
saying, bro?
least they every time you drink one, it's gotta take. I mean, it takes a significant amount of like a tangible amount of time off your life, like at least an
Tangible
hour.
amount of
At least
time.
an hour.
At least an hour.
At
Okay.
least an hour.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. There you go. Uh, don't drink bangs. And
Don't.
then PSA, PSA. All right.
P.S.
We appreciate y'all for joining us. Follow us on Twitter. You know the drills right there, right there. Follow us on Facebook right there, and follow us on Spotify over there, and Apple. You know, if you have Apple podcast, we're over there as well. So, thank you all for joining us, and we'll talk to y'all later.